is a video on some of the items you will need to spin cotton. Almost all of the items, except for cotton plants. Recently I had carded a lot of wool, and I have a lot of wool to spin. And then I remembered that I have a little book charka for spinning cotton, which is right here. And I hadn't used it in a while, so I wanted to practice again. So I got it out and realized that as I'm downsizing a lot of my equipment, and I realized that if I decide to spin cotton, I won't need very much at all, and almost all of it is completely portable, and you can take it with you. Cotton comes in different ways. This right here is a bag that was ginned loose cotton that I carded, and so this is bats of cotton that can be carded. This is cotton roving. This also has, looks like it has linen in it, or sometimes they add nylon. That's like a grayish color. This is another cotton roving. This is from Jerusalem. You can buy cottons from different areas if you want, and then make it a special item, you know, with the cotton from an area. This is another batch of cotton that was just loose and already ginned, and that I had carded, and probably from another location than the other one. These are cotton bowls that have not been ginned. Well, they're not actually the bowls. This is cotton that has been plucked off the bowls, but has not been ginned. And if you look at it, it's little tufts of cotton, but in the middle of it, all through it, will be cotton seeds. And what you really have to do before you spin this in any way is to remove all the little seeds. It's hard to do it with one hand because they really get stuck in there. Here are some that I had removed from this batch. And so there's almost 10 seeds that I can then turn around and plant and grow my own cotton. This, you want to card it a little bit with hand carders before you spin it. The rovings, you don't really have to do that with. And the 2 bags of bats, I had used a drum carder. You can even spin cotton balls that you buy for bathroom use or personal use. You can pull them apart and fluff them out, and you can spin that. So there's the cotton. Then you would spin it on a couple of things. You can use a charka. I'm not going to show how to use the charka right now because I'm not really set up for it here as far as time and batteries on the camera and everything. But you can use a charka. Now this is a book charka that is actually put together now. This folds down, the belts come off, this gets packed away, the spindle gets packed away, and it folds up into the size of a book. And you can take it anywhere. This is this and 4 rods that are over here is a skein winder that sits on here. It's really everything you need for spinning in one little book-size wheel. And when you turn the larger wheel, the smaller wheel moves the spindle. I have to change the tension on this. And this stick here that attaches to it, that comes with it, you kind of put under your leg and it keeps the charka still. So there's your charka. You can also use hand spindles, which these are a few of mine. This is one I've purchased, made out of female clay. It's really light. It's perfect for cotton. There's information on my website about spinning cotton with a hand spindle. This is another one that I had painted. and so is this one. And you can see now on this cotton, on the red spindle, this came from some of the loose cotton, and I was trying to see how difficult it was to just pull it into place. And it takes practice. It does take practice. This is some cotton that I had spun. I think this is from roving done on the charka. So, and still I need practice to get it. My goal would be to be spinning thread on the charka, but this is a little thicker than that. So after you spin it, it goes on a niddy noddy. These are very nice little niddy noddies. They're about 12 inches long, and you take your cotton from either type of spindle and you place it on the niddy noddy by starting at one corner up here and going around in that fashion and winding it on there until you make it into a skein. You pop this off and that off, you tie it into a skein. You set the twist by placing the cotton in the skein in boiling water for 30 minutes. And you then take it out of where you've set the twist, open up the skein, and you roll it into a ball. And you then have cotton to spin. I mean, to knit with, or weave with, or crochet with. I have a couple of different types here. These are naturally colored cottons, brown and white. These two are cotton that I had dyed with Brazil wood dye, but I did it very lightly. It's a very pale pink. This is cotton with nylon. And then these are some granny squares that I had crocheted out of the hand-spun cotton. So that's one thing you can do with cotton. What I'm doing right now, though, because I want to keep everything portable, I can pack all of this into a small tote bag and carry it with me, including a few of the bags of cotton. But what I'm making right now, I happen to have a pocket watch that is a little big. It's on a necklace, so when I'm not wearing it, I want a little case for it. So I thought I'd spin some cotton and then weave a small case for it. And I have Weave It looms. I have small triangle looms. I have a lot of small looms, but I was looking for something a little bit different this time. This is an Ojibwe style bead loom, and this would normally be beading thread, and I would be beading a pattern on here. You can see that it has slits cut in either of these two pieces of wood. And what I've done is take crochet thread, double strand, to use it as a warp, and popsicle sticks as tension sticks. And I'm going to take some of my hand-spun cotton and make weave a piece on this, and then fold it in half, and it'll be a pocket watch case. What's nice about this loom, it all comes apart. Those are dowels. They're regular dowels that you can buy at the hardware store. They're held in place with eye screws. They're just held in place like that. And you can get longer dowels. I have dowels down there that are about 3 feet long if you wanted to make a belt. So, I also think, but I haven't tried it yet, I can tie these, the way I have it tied up here, I can tie this differently. And probably the whole warp would turn on the loom. So I could actually, instead of just making this the length of my finished product, I could make it double that. So you have a small portable loom, a hand spindle, some cotton, and that's if you don't have a book charka. You'd need a knitting knotty, makes it easier to process the skeins. And that's really all you would need to start spinning cotton. Very portable. Everything a lot different from wool, where You buy 4 ounces of wool to spin, and it takes up a lot of space. This 4 ounces of cotton in roving form can be squished down a lot easier to pack. It is, I think, much more portable than wool. One more thing about the book charka. If you go online and do a Google search for charka spinning, it's C-H-A-R-K-H-A spinning. You'll find the history of it usually associated with Mahatma Gandhi in India. You will also find on YouTube a couple of very good videos about using a book charka, and it just takes a balance. And one thing I wanted to mention is that on my other spinning wheel, my hitchhiker wheel, I look at that as more or less a production wheel where I just want to sit down and spin, and I use it for wool primarily, and it's fast. I think one day I might be fast on a charka, but it's a whole different way of thinking, and it's in a way more meditative. With spinning, it's very relaxing to do that, to spin this way. And the fact, like I said, that it folds up and you can take it anywhere. It's smaller than an iPad, probably, when it's closed up, maybe the same size. But online you can find many good videos on using a charka.